Most beautiful thing about living life and about experiencing life is that we get to learn lessons every day. And this is what living here in Saudi Arabia has taught me. I remember vividly the day I came to Saudi Arabia. It was in the year 2020. It was such an exciting, experience. I looked forward to see what the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is like, given the fact that there are so many things that was said or had been said about the kingdom, the way they distilled a kind of fear because of what the media outlets had to say about Saudi at the time. But then I was so curious to see the kingdom for myself. I arrived at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 2020 and it was a completely different environment for me. Now it all comes down to the question, was it worth it after all these years? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how my experience has been and the lessons learned in my 3 years of living here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. First of all, you have to actually find it difficult adapting to this environment. Like I would say, it literally took me up to 6 months or even up to a year to finally realize that this is a different environment and you have to find a way to live. It was not easy, even given the fact that I did not find myself in the very big, exciting, bubbling cities. I found myself in a smaller town and there was no much thing to do there. It was not really exciting. It was not that there's no much of a social life there in the countryside where I found myself. So it really made adapting very difficult for me. It really made adapting very difficult for me. But thank God that at the end of the day, look who came out victorious, you guys. Yeah, I've come to realize that there is something about life. Life is there to teach you a lesson, whether good or bad lessons. There is something you get to learn at the end of the day. And it's actually why I decided to make this video to talk about my 3 years later and what I've experienced and what I learned. Basically, the first thing that I learned is the importance of seeking God's face in whatever you want to do. It's very imperative. It's very imperative that you know that God has to be the first in everything you do. See, some persons coming here, they don't have it easy, especially when you find yourself in kind of town I found myself. Some persons don't have it so easy, but somehow I knew that God was just in the midst of it. When we first came to Saudi Arabia, we were moved to a particular town. When we got there, we met just a few Nigerians, about 2 Nigerians, a husband and a wife, that were so kind. They were just too kind to us. When we were there, I was like, oh, this is the place I want to be. I don't want to go to somewhere else. And when we got there was already plans to move us to another region. They actually said we came to the wrong place, that they had sent someone to come here before us, and the person is still on his way or something like that. So I was like, I don't want to leave. I don't know how the other place are taking me to will be like, because I've seen already that this place is not a very exciting place, and I've met Nigerians here. How know that I will still meet my Nigerians in the next place? So I was sort of worried. I was not so happy with the whole idea of being moved to another place. But then my husband kept telling me, there is just this reminder that you prayed about something, why not trust God for it? So, and that was when I realized this thing, that when you pray about something, just trust God to lead you. Trust God's leading. You might be thinking, oh, this is what I want for myself, but there's actually something that God wants for you, and you might not just know it. So as I was so angry that they want to take us to another region, blah blah blah, at the end of the day, we still found ourselves. They took us out from that place. They took us to another town, which is where I have spent my 3 years. When we now finally came here, and I realized, oh God, I am so sorry. I've never had the kind of soft landing we had when we came here. We even met a much larger Nigerian community. Hey! And I just realized that when you pray about something, you should trust God. And when you want to do something, make God the first. Let God be at the first. Let God be at the apex. Let God lead you. Just allow God to lead you. Just allow God to, because you might not just know where God will be leading you to. They took us to that first region. I felt like, oh, I've met a Nigerian family and I am okay here. Let's be here. Let us find a way to cope with the border with this family that we met. And I was so angry. I didn't want to live there. But then at the end of the day, we went to a place where we met Nigerians in number. Very loving Nigerians. And that that was just the first step to me realizing that when you pray about something, trust God about that thing, and you'll see how God just comes through for you in many ways that we never even had to feel for ones that we came really as. We never felt for ones that we were new to the town. It felt like we had been there because everything we needed to cope, we had it. Was it the support? Was it the emotional support? Was it the in every wise, it was just available for us. So that's basically it for that. That's the first and most important. But two, I've learned that people do not need you to be their family members to be kind to you. There are people that you just meet and it just feels like you've known them all your life. There's this kind of it just extends even to the Saudis. Because when we first came here, the first encounter, my first impression of Saudis was from a Saudi. The way the man took care of us. I was sick at the time. I was very sick when I came in, because first of all, adapting to a new environment is not easy. You have to first of all go through some processes. And for me, I'm not someone that adapts easily to environment. It takes me time. So immediately I came in, I knew that change of environment was going to be a thing for me, and it was really a thing. But then this Saudi man was so kind. He would check on us. He would come to ask how far we're doing. He would call to check up on you to know how you're doing, how you're faring, how you're adapting. And I was just so short of words because I didn't expect that kind gesture. He was just too kind. He was just too kind to me and my family at the time that we came. And it's something I don't take for granted. So I've learned that, God can just position people for you. I've just learned that people can be kind. They don't need to be your family. They don't even need to be your friends. Strangers can be exceedingly nice. Another thing that living here will teach is patience. I wouldn't lie. Living here in the countryside, and from experiences I've gathered from people too, they're not particularly very patient people. The ones in the countryside, you have to learn patience. Sometimes you feel the Lord just brings you here to just teach you the importance of patience, because you might just get angry and do one thing and to be a problem for you. So especially if you find yourself in the work environment, you have to learn patience, especially when dealing with the people, especially if you find yourself in the small cities. You need restraints. The Lord will give you patience. The Lord will give you restraint, because these people can be very provocative. So you have to learn that there is a virtue called patience, and you have to pray to the Lord to give you patience. So if you have lived in Saudi Arabia, or you find yourself even in the small towns of Saudi Arabia, you will know what I'm talking about. That after living here, you have to learn that patience is a virtue. Must. Now, another point is they are family oriented. That is one thing that these people have taught me. They are people that hold family in high tenacity. They are people that are very much family oriented. They don't joke with family. And from what I have seen so far, from what I've learned so far, there are people that love to promote, like with extended family. Yes, because they have such a large family. They love to have children. They love to go out with their kids, to see them with family. They know how to spend quality time with family. They know how to just do things around family. Their whole daily life revolves around family, and that's actually something very beautiful. Something I've loved, but it's something I've also learned. There's this difference between knowing something and now imbibing it. It's a culture I love, and I love to imbibe it. Knowing that family is everything. Life revolves around family, and that's just a beautiful thing. And I love it about the Saudis. There's something called work-life balance. I see Saudis are people that they don't like to stress their life. They work, but they cannot overwork themselves. So in this life, don't be doing too much. I think somehow people have been conditioned to think that you can just work, and not find a time out to rest. Saudis are not like that. They don't even like to stress their life. To start with, they don't stress their life. But even if they must stress their life, they must find a time. They find time in the middle of that stress to have fun, to do their thing. I wouldn't consider them particularly as people that love to do too much. They don't do too much, but they do little in their little way. And then the next point, self-care. I usually joke with self-care, but since coming to Saudi, I've realized that it's necessary sometimes to take a break. Take a break from life. Take a break from reality check. Take a break and just do things. Those are people that just they love to live their lives. You see them quietly moving in the malls, doing their gentle, because they love to shop. They are women, they love to shop. You see them looking very simple in their black and black, but inside, hidden in that black and black, are very beautiful things. Luxury bags, luxury shoes, expensive jewelries, gold jewelries, very beautiful, expensive, smelling nice, smelling perfumes. These people that love to take care of themselves. They're just quiet people that love to just live a very quiet, soft life. And they know what it means to take care. Be self-cautious. They know how to take care of themselves. And I love it for them. Sometimes it's very important to just take a break. Go and take care of yourself. You know, sometimes just do things to just satisfy. If you call it selfishness, call it selfishness, but it is necessary. Very necessary. And that point is that living here has taught me to push myself, to do some certain things by myself. You don't have to wait for people to come do it for you. You have to push yourself. You have to get up, challenge yourself to do some things. And that's what basically here has taught me. Respecting people's culture is one of the things that I've loved. And when they say that you're someone that actually loves to respect their culture, they respect it. So I feel like respect is reciprocal. So when you respect their culture, they appreciate you, they welcome you. So yeah. And I've really learned a lot, but for now, let me just drop this one here. So you guys, this is basically for this video. So I'm thankful for the experiences so far. I'm thankful for the lessons learned. I'm thankful for everything. Basically, they are just lessons that you have to learn here. And I'm just thankful for those lessons that being here for 3 years has taught me. It's been exciting because I've actually found a way around some things and I've learned lessons. Very important life lessons. These are life skills that will actually help you any other place you find yourself. If you have been here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or you can relate to what I'm saying, please kindly let me know in the comment section. I will be waiting there to hear what you have to say about being here and what you have learned from being here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Until then, thank you for watching, guys. Please kindly like my video. Please kindly subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Okay? Until then, bye-bye.